Alright, this is a test video of the Omni 7 Bob, and I'm on 14307. After we hung up, it's like 457 right now. We've got some QRM here on the band. On my monitor up here, I've got a a Web SDR, where there's a receiver that's available out in Utah, and you can listen to radio over the internet. So I have that running on my computer. So you can see there's lots of activity there. So the 708 mic, I have the radio. See, I've got lots of glare from the window behind me. I've got the amp on, but I don't have it. I have it in standby right now. So we're putting out test one. This is November 8 Echo mic testing. So 90 some watts there. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Web SDRs, but you can actually listen to yourself. So being heard out there in Utah. Let's see if we slide down to, looks like 304 maybe isn't quite so busy. So we'll change what we're listening to out there in Utah, and let me make another call. This is November 8 Echo mic. November 8 Echo mic is the frequency and score, please. 20 meters is busy this afternoon. Okay, anyway, being heard barefoot, pretty good out there in Utah. Audio sounds good. I don't even know where I've got that set up. Let's see. So on this radio, you can change. Let me turn down this volume. That's probably picking up on my phone. Let's see. So you have a menu button to toggle the menu on this radio, and it's just real simple. You just roll your VFO to go top to bottom. This radio does have the auto tuner. I turned that off and tuned with my external tuner because we'll probably have the amp on here in a minute, so I did it that way. But this does have the tuner. It does work. I've got the meter set for SWR on the screen. Transmitter, of course, is turned on. You can disable the transmitter as well. Like if you're doing something and you don't want to actually accidentally engage the transmitter, you can turn that off in software. Probably your Kenwood does that as well. Single sideband transmit bandwidth. I'm going to crank this all the way up to 4,000 and take the low cut so I'm as wide as this radio will go, and let's see how that changes the audio. Let's see now on the Web SDR, this is only 3K wide, so I'm going to open it up.
November 8 Echo mic QRZ. Norway 8 Echo mic over.
So turn that back down. I guess the point of that is if you wanted to do more high fidelity, you can. This radio, of course, runs AM as well. And when you open it up 4K wide and sideband, when you go to AM, it gives you an 8K wide, 8,000 hertz wide audio. So they work very nice on AM, very good quality audio. The 708 mic does cut your bass part off. I've got another microphone that doesn't, and it will make more lows, but I don't know. It's not real great for being heard, but if you're real strong locally talking to people and you want to have super fidelity, you can get microphones that are have more bass in them. Let's see, back to this. I'm going to change this back because I don't want to leave it that crazy bandwidth for transmit. So let's take that up to about 200, and then we'll go back up and cut this back down to like, say, 2800 wide. I have the keying loop on for my amplifier. This amplifier has QSK, so instant break-in on CW. So it actually runs a loop that goes out of the radio, through the amplifier relay, back to the radio before the radio keys, so that it won't hotkey the amplifier. It's a 10-tech feature. I'm not sure with the Ameritron if that will work that way, but if you're not using CW, you'll want to just disengage that, and then on the back of the radio there's a direct key line as well, so you'll use that one for your Ameritron, I believe, instead of the keying loop like that you use with a 10-tech amplifier. The later Corsairs had that, as well as your Paragon, I think, had that loop circuit in there, so you're probably familiar with that. This runs AM, and you can put tones in it for 10-meter repeaters. I personally have never used it, but it's in the radio if you wanted to try that. There's a TX equalizer that I have at 0. Usually with my voice, because I'm kind of monotone and bassy, I'll actually turn that into the negative territory, which will take some bass out and make it more treble. So let me see if I can, let me go all the way to an extreme here. It maxes out at 20. I'm going to go to 15. And then see if you can tell the difference here on the monitor. This is November 8th. Oh, just a second. What did I do here? It's really killing my power out setting it that way. This is November 8th. Echo Mike. Test 1. Wow. Let's not dial it that far back. That's killing my output. Let's try somewhere around 10 here and see what that does. Test 1. Oh, I forgot I turned the TV down. Duh. This is November 8th. Echo Mike. Okay, so you can see that on the pan adapter. Narrowed up my signal, and it's very trebly, so lots of cut through the noise with that setup like that, but I don't actually like how that sounds personally, so I'm going to dial it back more to a little more neutral. Okay, other settings. side tone if you're on CW, so I won't spend a bunch of time. There's delay settings for CW. There's Vox settings. That's pretty standard from even the old radios, right? So this isn't different. This radio has the capability for the remote VFO, so you could have the radio sitting somewhere else and then have a control right at your beside you on the desk, kind of like a mouse with your computer. So there's some settings in here for what you would make the various buttons on that remote pod. And anyway, there's lots of settings in here, but I think we're good on that, how everything's set up. So obviously 20 meters is good. I think this is so busy this afternoon, I don't know if we're going to get any brothers on the radio.
to North Dakota this afternoon. Back to you.
Sounds like there's a couple of parks on the air stations in here right around 307 this afternoon. So got one on 308, one on 305. So I've got the bandwidth at 3000. So this has a roofing filter at 6000 and then uses DSP down to 2500. And then let me turn that down. At 2500, there's a 2.5 kilohertz Collins filter for 2500, and then another one at 500. But it's DSP in between, which actually works really good. So you can hear how narrow that is, probably.
Juliet 5 station.
Alpha Juliet 5 Charlie.
Alpha Juliet 5 Charlie, Heavy 59 in the Park K11172 in Northeast Utah. Thanks for the repeat contact.
Yes, USO, you're 59 plus Arkansas.
Copy 59 Arkansas, 73, QAZ, Kilo Golf 7, Victor Yankee Sierra.
So to have the Omni 7 be real quiet, the way I run this is I dial the RF gain way back. So you see I've got that at 29%, and then turn up the audio volume to wherever you want it. I'm going to switch it and put the RF at 100%. So toggle.
Got you here to 57 in the Park K11172 in Northeast Utah. Thanks for the repeat contact.
Okay, thanks. You're 57 California.
Copy to 57 California, 73 to you.
73.
QRZ, Kilo Golf 7, Victor Yankee Sierra, parks on the air. Kilo Delta 0.
So it still doesn't sound bad. You're around 20 meters, so there's not a lot of atmospheric noise or anything going, so it's still not bad. I'm not engaging any of the noise reduction. Let's try that.
K11172 in northeast Utah, QSL. We appreciate it. Thank you. 7-3. 7-3, Kilo Golf 7 Victory Yankee Sierra. The Whiskey Delta 4 station. The Sierra Bravo Zulu station, come again. Whiskey 4 Sierra Bravo Zulu. K11172 in northeast Utah, QSL. Is it Kilo 4 or Whiskey 4 Sierra Bravo Zulu? K11172 in northeast Utah. Copy the 5-5 into Florida. Thanks for the contact, 73. There's a park to park in there.
Kilo Echo 4 Zulu, Uniform November.
Kilo 8 Hotel United.
X-ray QSL.
So anyway, you can
55 Sierra Whiskey X-ray. I'm losing you. You were a
turn that down. So you can kind of see with the noise reduction, the RF dialed back, and then the audio turned up. You can actually have it where it's like almost like a 2-meter FM radio. It's really quiet. I usually don't use the noise reduction personally. I just run it with the RF gain dialed back and then use it like this. So there is a little white noise in the background, but it's not bad.
Kilowatt 8 Hotel United. 8 Hotel United.
Boy, he's got a pile up on him. I see you just texted me. I'm going to stop this video and text you back. I think 20 meters is just jammed right here, so I don't think anybody's on from the from the rendezvous group. But let me pause or stop this video.